Shalom friends, and welcome to this week's latest installation of a Bisseleh Torah, but it's a special edition because we are about to enter into the holiday of Pesach, the festival of our liberation, when we rejoice at our freedom. I'd like to pay tribute to an idea that was first coined in the early part of the 20th century about collective consciousness and collective memory, that we, as social scientists have it, become part of the culture in which we live, even if we were later transplants to that culture. So, for example, in America, we remember our freedom from the tyranny of Great Britain, and we own that story. We own it proudly as Americans, as if we were actually there. And we celebrate every July 4th that freedom that we experience and re-experience time and again. Perhaps Pesach is similar in the sense that we remember our freedom from the grip of the tyrant Pharaoh, who God's hand ultimately forced him to release us from slavery, and that becomes part of our story. That's why we tell the story in the Passover Haggadah, to make sure that we don't forget this collective consciousness of how we became who we are. But there's two other aspects I'd like to put on the table for your consideration. One of them is, what if this collective memory is more than that? What if the collective memory, the collective consciousness that we all share in common with Passover, is actually part of our DNA? I'm being a little metaphoric here, but part of the component of who we are. Is it possible that the collective consciousness is not simply learning about the Passover Seder and the Exodus, but really part of our personal identity, who we are, in its very nascent form, and that every time we participate in the Passover Seder, it is as if we are re-experiencing the original liberation. The Passover Seder, in fact, says something like that in the Haggadah, where we say every Jew should view him or herself as if they were personally liberated from Egypt. This is the object, is it not, of the celebration of Passover with the Seders that we conduct, to view the liberation as if we personally were liberated, were freed from that grip. Also, one can't help but wonder if this part of forging our own identity as we move forward into the future as well. Maybe part of that collective consciousness is that if we remember that we were freed from slavery, and we can recall the taste of bitterness on our tongue and the lash of the whip of the master on our back, maybe we will feel innerly compelled to ensure that nobody should ever endure a pain, a hardship like that ever. That's part of our mandate, our ethical mandate to walk into the future to make sure that all the shackles of slaves are undone. So let me leave you with this question as we're about to go into Pesach. Our collective consciousness has a purpose, and it has a seat. It has a seat inside of our soul, forming who we are, the judgments that we make, and the path that we forge for our own personal future. And at the same time, it also beckons for us to change our character and our behavior. Do we not say at the Passover Seder, let all who are hungry come and eat? Words or a mission? Chag Sameach.